Shabbat Shalom. This parasha is the Parashat Vayetze. Yaakov Yotze, going out from Beersheba, the city where he grew up in, when his father lived in and his grandfather lived in, and he's moving to Haran. Haran, a place of old civilization, Mesopotamia. We're talking about Turkey area, Syria, Turkey, the place where his mother coming from, and Haran also from the word Charon Af, meaning place that making God angry. So Yaakov going there to find a wife to himself as his father commanded him, and basically also escaping Esav. That Esav wanted to kill him because Yaakov took from him the blessings and the firstborn rights. Yaakov going and he's coming there. Before he's coming there, he's dreaming a famous dream of the ladder of the angels going up and down. But before he's going to sleep, in order to dream the dream, Yaakov coming to a place, and Rashi telling us that it was a holy place. It's on the mount of the Temple Mount, and he's putting a stone near his head. Now there is few commentaries. Some of the commentaries saying that he put it as a pillow. I don't know how much stone can be a pillow, but to make his head more comfortable when he's going to sleep. And some commentaries said that it is in order to protect his head from animals. If a person wants to protect himself from animals, he not only need to protect his head, he need to protect all his body. And another question is, what animals you can protect yourself with a head, with a stone that can block? Which animals that can block? This, by the way, Rabbi Shmuel asked me. I don't know the answer for how can you protect animals from stone and why to protect only your head. But there is the deeper explanation for this situation. We know that everything that the Torah writes, the Torah not writing even 10%, but from what really occurred there in father's life. We know about the Yitzchak's life, very small details, and he lived for 180 years. About the life of Abraham, we know more, but his story starts from the age of 75. So it's really the Torah choosing what to tell us, and why only things that they are eternal, that we can learn from them. Now the Rebbe explained once the episode that he's lying in this mountain, the holy mountain, and he's dreaming the dream, and in the dream God blessing him and giving him strength, and he basically preparing himself to go from Beersheba, city of our fathers, to Haran, a bad place. Sorry. And in this bad place that he's going to marry all his wives, and he's going to create the Jewish family. And we know that not a simple family was created there, rather the foundation of Jewish family, the 12 tribes. So that is the episode that we find in Yaakov protecting his head from the animals. So the Rebbe explaining that this protection of the head is basically a symbol of what a person should do before going to a new journey of finding a wife and a new place, a different place from what you grew up in, and a long journey to go till there. And Yaakov stayed there for many years. So he needed to do some preparation, and the preparation was to protect his head. How a person, what does that mean? It means that he always remembered that the head would be in the right place. There is an analogy, a story that Hasidim is telling that once the army soldiers of the Tsar's army went to the local bar to drink some, to the krechme, to the place that they can sit and drink some vodka to warm themselves in the cold. And they were drinking too much, and they fell asleep. And the day after came the commander, and he's looking for the soldiers. They came to the bar, to the krechme, and he's finding them. And everyone is punishing with a harsh punishment, but one is not punishing with this punishment. They're asking the commander, why this soldier, what's the difference? He also fell asleep here in the bar. He said, yes, but he fell, and I saw that the direction that he fell was that his head was in the right direction, in the direction of the base. You fell asleep, just fell asleep here. And I saw that his head was to this direction. Meaning he tried. His head always stayed that I need to go back. My place is there. You just came here and you got used to this situation and you drank and you had fun and you fell asleep. He tried to go back. So this punishment is different. So Yaakov need to put a compass to his body that the direction of his head will be always to the right place, to the Beersheba. In protecting his head, there is a verse, Yegia kapecha ki tochel ashrecha v'tov lach. If a person eating for what he worked for is good, his money is what he earned. But the verse saying, Yegia kapecha, only the work of your hands. And it's trying to teach us that a person should work and should work hard, but his head will know that the most important thing is to trust that God will give us the blessings. But God wants us to work, to have a job, in order that the blessings will come in a direct and simple way, in the way that the world was designed to be. But it's the work of our hands, not the work of our head. The head can work, but always you should remember that the blessings of God coming from God Himself, we're not receiving our food and our salary, our money, our income from the job. We're not dependent in the job. The job is only a vessel that God gave us in order to receive His blessings, because God created the world in a designed way that a person should work in the world and deserve his income. Of course, we should have gratitude to the place of work. It means that you're just a vessel, we don't care about you. It's not the way that the world works. We know that Moshe, the first prophet, the biggest prophet, he did not punch the waters and turn them to blood, or punch the ground to turn it to enter the plagues from the ground that came on the Egyptians. Moshe did not do it. His brother did it. The rest of the plagues to the heavens that will come, the ice and this Moshe did. But the waters and the ground he did not do. Why? Because the water saved him once when he was a baby in the ark that his mother put him. So the water saved him once. And also the ground saved him when he killed the Egyptian. He buried him in the ground. So you can ask Moshe, the big prophet, the biggest believer, he should thank the waters and the ground. They were just the vessels of God. to save them. No, we should appreciate also the vessels that God gave us. And the same thing, which we should treat the work. We should appreciate it, we should invest in it, but we always need to remember that our head need to stay in the right place. And this is what Yaakov did before going to work 22 years in the house of Lavan to grow his animals, that a lot of wealth and a lot of money that Yaakov was grow there. His head stayed in the right place. I just want to finish in a story that I heard lately. It's regarding our days. It's not directly connected to what I just spoke. Last week was a very, very big gathering of American Jews to support Israel in Washington, D.C. And was there hundreds of thousands of Jews? It was very enormous shown of the connection of the Jewish people around the world with the country of Israel. And Chabad, a rabbi, came there, of course, to put on tefillin to the Jewish people there, and he offering people tefillin. And then he offered someone tefillin, a young guy, and he said, no, thank you. The rabbi's name was Zalman Levin, I think. And the guy said, no, thank you, I don't want. But then the rabbi see that he's very sad. So asking him what's happening. So the young guy tell the rabbi, my father passed away 2 days ago in Israel. So the rabbi convinced him, of course you should put tefillin. Okay, he did put tefillin and he got very emotional, very, very, very emotional about that. So the rabbi then thinking to himself, this person need to say Kaddish for his father. So I asked him, did you say Kaddish? He said no. So he said, we are here between thousands of Jews. So the rabbi said to the people around, please answer amen to this guy's Kaddish. He said Shiva. So he said Kaddish and everybody said amen, and we got very, very emotional. And then the rabbi thinking to himself, he's still in the middle of the 7 days of mourning, of Shiva. So he should sit and we should all do the mitzvah of comforting him. So he just sat there. And people came, 20 or more people came, and just said some comforting words to this guy that lost his father. And this guy, and also the rabbi just realized what's happening here. One of them coming and shaking his hand, one of them hugging him, saying few words. And that was amazing. This person standing here, no one knew him, but he put tefillin and he said Kaddish and he did Shiva and got so much strength from the people around him. This is a good story of example of how strong connection and bondage there is between the Jewish people, and how much strength we can give each other in this difficult time, and we should try to help each other and to give strength to each other as much as we can. Shabbat Shalom, and have a great news, Bezrat Hashem.